Okay, so letters to the editor are so easy. This is a draft document, put some thoughts on. They're so easy that it doesn't take a lot of training. So basically you can Google the newspaper you want to submit a letter to the editor to. So the Press Democrat is the Santa Rosa paper. You can just Google Press Democrat letters to the editor or San Francisco Chronicle letters to the editor, and you'll get you right where you need to go. I will say that we're also putting together the list of them to make it even easier for you. Typically, you just pop it in, either you can copy and paste it into their online submission tool, or you literally send an email. The email address for the Press Democrat is letters@pressdemocrat.com. So it's crazy. So you always have to include your name and the city where you live, and give a phone number, because every once in a while you'll get a call and they'll say, well, we're thinking of doing this, but we need to whatever. You need to cut some out, or is it okay if we do this, whatever. So they're pretty respectful. You're more likely to get published. So I'm now switching to the best practices, just some ideas. More likely to get published if you reference a recent article, although you never know. Stay within the word count, kind of know what it is and stay within the word count. And brief is better anyway, because ultimately the people that you want to communicate to are the people that are reading them in the general population. So people just digest short stuff better. Try to specify the outcome that you want instead of just saying, fossil fuels are bad. You say, fossil fuels are bad, they're impacting our health, and we want these things to happen right now from these bodies. These people need to do these things. And then another thing, I know that I've said stay within your word count, but if you can connect it to something personal about you briefly, those tend to have a different level of poignance. So just a couple of examples. I was with a group of people who got together at a coffee shop to write letters to the editor, together, and just that was it. There was no theme or anything like that. You were just supposed to cough up a letter to the editor. And I wrote something really short. It took me 5 minutes, and I just threw it out there, and it got published. So you really never know. And then the other thing is that when we do this as a group and the newspapers get 5 or 6 letters to the editor on the same topic, even that low a number, A, at least one of them is going to get published. B, it's going to change what they report on. So there's lots of different reasons to get letters to the editors published. Letters to the editor published. Third reason to get it published is that all of the elected officials track them. They get packaged up and delivered to the staff of elected officials from your city council all the way up to your federal elected officials. So I included in here, I thought this was a good example of a letter to the editor. It's a little bit, it's straightforward, it builds the case, and then, at the end, it's accessible. It's come on, Bill Gallagher, come on, do this. And I think that was a nice way to say, there's no formal language required. This is really more effective when it's in your legitimate voice. And that's the end of the letter to the editor training.